Subscriber Q&A time. What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video. I hope you all enjoyed your weekends, and in today's video we will be answering some of your comments here on the channel. But first, before we get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys are new here and you enjoy daily King of Fighters All-Star content such as this, you smash that like button and subscribe. And in today's video we will be answering various questions and comments from around our various socials here on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this week's batch of questions, and thank you all for leaving these in the comments section over the course of the past week. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And our first comment today comes our way from Queasy, who says, "Nice bro, hope someday you will do a guide for the missions that require low-cost units, like recommendations and so on." Thank you for the comment, Queasy, and I do plan on doing this particular guide for the new Epic Quest at some point. Right now I have not been able to do those myself yet, just because I haven't necessarily had the time to sit down and take a look at it, but at some point here in the near future I do plan on doing various guides for this type of mode. So I will be giving you guys that guide at some point over the course of the next few weeks. I'm just not entirely sure where it's going to slot into the video upload schedule, but definitely appreciate the comment as always, and stay tuned. And in keeping with the theme of the new Epic Quest, we have a comment here from Brahim Yakuza, who asks me which one of the Epic Quest Episode 2 chapters is the best to farm for the buffs. And really, when it comes to this one, Brahim, this is going to come down to which chapter that you can comfortably farm. So really, everybody's going to have a different experience with this depending on their roster, so there's no right or wrong answer. Really, you just want to pick whichever one of these different levels that you can that's going to be the highest difficulty that you can comfortably get through on auto, and just go with that one. So really it just comes down to what you can do on a personal level, and at some point you'll probably be able to move on to the next chapter or to a different chapter and start farming that one as you get more and more buffs accumulated. But for now, just try to find one that you can comfortably auto through, because the last thing that you want to have to do is sit there and manually farm these buffs. So yeah, just pick whichever one is comfortable for you and move on from there. But otherwise there's really no hard set right or wrong answer to this one. But thank you for the comment, and we'll move on to the next one. And the next comment is also about the new Epic Quest. I'm starting to see a theme, but this one's going to come our way from Angry Owl, who asks, "Can you please do the new BS characters' first impressions? I've been wondering which one is worth it to level. I think I made a mistake in buying a maximum memory." Well, first, Angry Owl, thank you for the comment, and I would say that I don't think that you made a mistake in getting the maximum memory. Really, as I've mentioned here on the channel, that new maxima is going to be excellent for time attack if you need a balance character, because that does come up, so that is somewhere where he is going to shine. But also, besides that, he is going to be a top tier character in Championship, so if you play live PvP, you'll be very happy to have him awakened. But to answer your question, I will eventually get around to doing first impressions videos for all of these characters, as well as spotlight videos. However, being the fact that Epic Quest and these characters are structured in the way that they are, that is going to be sort of a future content situation, because it's going to be a while before I'm going to have enough memories for one, much less all three of these characters in order to do that. So it's going to take a while, because I wouldn't be able to really necessarily take them into much of any content even at Awakening level 10. So at some point I will get around to it, but it's going to take a while before any of us are going to have the amount of resources that are necessary in order to make that work. I am brainstorming ways that I could maybe do like an early first impressions video with these, but at the same time, it's not going to be necessarily anything very entertaining if I can't take them into 99% of the game modes that are out there. But I definitely appreciate the comment. It's another one that's going to be in the pipeline at some point, so stay tuned, but thank you for the comment. Next up, we're going to start answering a few comments about the new special signature characters. The first one being from Fabuki72, who asks, "Will they ever think about buffing SSK?" So when it comes to SSK, I don't necessarily think that we can expect much of anything coming his way as far as buffs in the near future. I think that the first priority at this point needs to be figuring out a way to fix the fact that whenever you're on semi-auto or auto, that these characters are not using their derived skills. So that's going to be the first thing that I think that they need to fix. But when it comes to buffing either of them, I do think that SSK is getting a little bit more hate than he deserves. To be honest honest with you guys, outside of Guild Raid, is there anything in the game right now that he's really bad at particularly? And the answer to that is really no. He's actually really good for most of anything else. So while he isn't necessarily going to be as brain dead of a beat stick as a character such as SS Kyo, he's still a really good character. So yeah, I mean, I guess they could technically buff them if they wanted to, but at the same time, with the way the power creep has been, which we're going to talk more about here with a future comment here on this Q&A, I do think that they are probably in a place with him where they wanted him, so I don't necessarily see that coming. Now, it can be up for debate whether or not people think that he deserves one or not, but at the same time, I don't really think that he's in a position where he's probably going to see one of those anytime soon. So who knows? It's Netmarble. They've done crazier things, but that's just my opinion on it right now. But thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. And our next comment comes from MD Esanul Azim 18041, who says, "One thing I found very interesting in this update is that the SS Volume 3 stones perfectly synergize with SS Volume 2 characters, especially Kyo and vice versa." Now, this is something I had been talking to people about on my Discord from day one. The second that I saw those new Volume 3 stones for the SS characters, the first thing that I wanted to do was throw those on my SS Kyo, which I've already done so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, they definitely synergize very well with Kyo, and I think a big talking point with the new stones in general a lot of the time that people don't necessarily get into is just how much they can improve previous characters. This is something I'm going to talk about in a future video, but this is something I think a lot of people should pay more attention to, especially in the instance of these new stones and the aforementioned SS Kyo. So definitely something that will help improve his performance, which is already astronomically good by comparison to most characters. And yeah, that is something that I definitely noticed, but thank you for the comment. And this next comment comes our way from Ron Plays, who asks, "Second comment, do you think Netmarble is getting away from the ongoing power creep thing considering the latest SS banner? I would love your opinion on that." Now, thank you for this comment, Ron Plays, because I do think that this is a talking point worth mentioning. But basically, when it comes to the power creep, as we all saw with the Dead or Alive collaboration, the power creep has been cranked up to 11 over the course of the past 7-8 months, ever since we started getting limited banner characters, whether they're BS or SS, or at this point collaboration characters as well. So really, when it comes to the power creep, I think we all can agree that we needed to kind of stop while we were ahead, because it was starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Now, I don't necessarily think that this is a sign that they are going to relent on that anytime soon. I guess we will know better whenever we get the next BS banner, because the next BS banner should let us know whether or not they're planning on just trying to put a hard stop to the power creep for the time being. There really isn't any way of knowing outside of that. You know, it's a very small sample size that we have with this latest SS banner. So well, I do think that they do need to slow it down just a little bit, which is definitely a sign with the new SS banner that maybe that they are doing that. I don't think that it is going to be conclusive enough evidence right now in order for us to make that judgment call. Like I said, let's wait and see what the next BS banner rather, and we'll kind of know better from there. But if the next BS banner comes out and it's another one of those things where you have to pull on it because the power creep is just that much better than what we've already had, then we'll pretty much have our answer there. But I do think it is something worth mentioning, and I appreciate the comment, Ron, as always. And this next comment is from Lulu KH, who asks, which Volume 3 stones are best for SS Kula? SS attack stones or SS defense stones? Which stones do you choose for SS Kula? Big review. Now, thank you for the comment, Lulu, and I've been asked this one several times. Me personally, on my Kula, I ended up going with attack stones. Now, the reason why is actually varied. I didn't just go for the attack stones just because they're typically going to be the best stones for your characters. I also went for the attack stones because, as I've previously mentioned in this Q&A, I planned on poaching a set for my SS Kyo, at least for the science. So even if I didn't end up permanently leaving those on there, I wanted to at least leave myself the option of being able to do so. So I did pick up 2 sets of the attack stones for both of these characters respectively. Now, there is a case to be made for the defense stones in the case of SS Kula. I personally have not seen anybody run those numbers or pit those two sets against each other in order to figure out which one is definitively going to be the best. Typically, the attack stones are going to be the best way to go no matter what, because most of the time the amount of defense to attack conversion isn't enough for it to make sense to go for defensive stones. However, in the case of Kula, I could see it going either way. We'll have to wait and see. I still haven't seen that data, but that's the way I went with it, and that is why. So thank you for the comment as always, Lulu. I appreciate it. And we have time for one more, and this one's going to come from our Discord from the franchise, who says, "Hey Theo, I just wanted to understand, will Netmarble give us some sort of memory management in the future when it comes to Awaken, SS, and BS characters? Because it has been a very long time since all the players have been requesting this from the dev team. I also wanted to know about how you feel on the BS and SS dimensional invitation picture, which was shared across by Xenon." So there's two different comments here. I'm going to try and kind of give you an answer to both. Now, when it comes to the memory management for awakening these characters, I'm assuming you're talking about better ways of getting generic memories. This is something we have all begged for in the past, and they have not really necessarily addressed very well yet. Of course, they did give us that exchange that we've seen with the Dead or Alive collaboration, and now again with this latest SS banner, but I would argue that that is nowhere near good enough, so hopefully down the road they find a way to improve upon that and continue to build on what they've already done. But when it comes to the second question, for those of you who are unaware, there was a image that was making the rounds, and Xenon had posted it saying that it was a data mine. Now, for those of you who have not seen it, I have posted it before, but I'm not going to repost it because I've already confirmed that that was a fake. I had confirmed that the night that it was posted. That has been confirmed by both the person that actually made that image as well as the rest of the data miners in the community. So if you guys see that image floating around that makes it look like you're going to be able to exchange generic FES memories in order to get SS or BS memories in some sort of permanent basis in your dimension exchange, just know that that is a fake. That was something that was made as something that somebody was just trying to give Netmarble an idea of what we wanted, and it is not something that's an actual in-game asset. I'm not entirely sure why Xenon posted that at the time that he posted it. It did cause quite a bit of confusion in the community for a short period of time. However, it is a fake image, and that is something that I have already confirmed. So don't go thinking that if you see that laying around anywhere, whether it's on the forum or on the Reddit or so on and so forth, that that is some sort of official image, because it is not. But that is going to wrap it up for this week's weekly subscriber Q&A, you guys. I appreciate everybody who left comments and questions over the course of the past week. If you guys would like to get your comments or questions read here on the channel live, you can go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I might end up picking it. But I will see you guys in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Opinion.